Power Ranger kind of mood. Welcome to a toy kind of mood, folks. I'm Ron. I'm the host with the most. Today we are going to be covering the Fan First Friday Power Rangers Extravaganza. We are joined again by the editor-in-chief, my boy Bobby. How you doing, Bob?
I'm good. I'm good.
And we got our first
good.
guest. Yeah, first time guest, long time collector. Dave, how you doing?
What's up?
All right, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit of background? It's your first time here today?
I've been collecting since '92 when Power Rangers kind of first. Actually, '92 might have been a little early, but I knew about the source material, the Super Sentai stuff, so I had a lot of toys from that. So I was slightly ahead of the game when it hit big in when the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers first came out, and that toy craze was like nothing I've ever seen. The only thing I would really compare it to is the Star Wars figures in '77. I've been collecting ever since then. My favorite story from that era is, the lottery systems that Toys R Us used to do. You're in line around the building because they had a certain number of things you could go in and buy. My dad stood in line at Toys R Us trying to get the original Green Ranger with the Dragon Zord and everything. And he almost got in a fight in that line because somebody else came up and was trying to cut the line because he knew someone that was in line and he was trying to just go stand with them because they haven't even gotten the lottery balls yet.
Yep. And I mean, any of us have ever gone to any kind of pre-release or order like that. You see people that happen all the time, and it's kind of scummy because Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that at the time though. I was a kid. I was in second or third grade, and I just heard this story about my dad almost fighting a guy to get my Green Ranger for Christmas. Awesome. And to me, that was the coolest story.
Right.
And yeah, so I've been collecting ever since. Mostly Power Rangers, as you could probably tell, and a lot of Star Wars back in the day. Haven't kept up with that. DC Marvel stuff is mostly where it's at for me.
Awesome. Glad to hear your background. So we're going to jump right into the hot kind of, I guess we're on an overall good mood, more or less. It was a really good time today. I haven't collected Power Rangers since I was younger. I was probably in my mid-teens era, early teens-ish. I was born in '80. Yeah. But I still watch the show with my little brother. He's 10 years younger, and he was huge into collecting. First thing was let's dive into the different aspect we've always heard of toys, which is the mobile game for Power Rangers. They went into a little bit of that. It was the Power Ranger Legacy fighting game for mobile. They did announce the Red Ranger coming from Dino Fury. He has a special three break combo moves. They went into that. Any of you guys ever play the mobile game or into the Power Rangers fighting games at all?
I've played the mobile game. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of mobile games in general. So it's not a knock on this particular game. It's just I hate this. I've played. There's another fighting game that they have on consoles. I've played that. But the releases don't always go hand in hand. So I don't know if that particular character is going to transition over to the console version.
Right. Robert, any experience at all with the mobile game or anything?
No, not at all. The last Power Ranger game I played was on Sega Game Gear. So, yeah.
That was a good game.
It was a great game. I love that game. But yeah, I don't the only mobile game I really play is The Simpsons, and that's just because I've been playing it for forever. Other than that, right. I tried G.I. Joe. I tried Marvel. I've tried them all, and I just get bored. So.
Right. Yeah. We I don't really dabble in the mobile games that much. I do have, or I think it was offered free, whether it was PSN or one of those, the Power Ranger fighting game for the new consoles. It was the upscaled version of the mobile game they released. It's fun. I mean, again, it's that hit of nostalgia, bringing us back to when I used to watch Power Rangers with my brother. Big news. Moving on. Super7, their Megazord variant. Did you guys happen to see the clear? Oh my God! I thought that was a thing of beauty myself. It just happens to have a pretty awesome clear shell to it. It has a clear shell. There's 9 points of articulation. It's 11 inches tall, and it has the colors in the inside looks like the black mass middle form with the actual colored Rangers sitting in the cockpit. Dave, what did you think of that? Was that pretty cool to you, or something you're interested in?
I thought that was cool. It's definitely a cool idea. I don't collect a lot of the Megazords anymore. I used to. And it just comes down to cost for me. I enjoy the figures more, and it's more cost effective to get more of those.
Right.
But I think it's a cool idea because we, outside of like the super kitty toys, we've never had a real Megazord that where you can have the Rangers inside of it. So even to be able to just like see that cockpit with the Rangers in it, that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. I mean, Ronnie, you were on the best of 2020. Voltron was my number one.
Yep.
This really pushes me to find a job. Nothing else. Not paying the bill. No, screw that shit. Getting that Megazord next to the Voltron would just be too cool.
Right. Power Rangers was inspired by Voltron. We all. I mean, everybody knows that. Yeah. We didn't get any kind of price point either, so I don't even know what really that figure might go for. It is something cool. To me, it's a display piece. It's something you want to unbox, put out, statement piece. I mean, Dave, it looks like every other Power Ranger under the sun ready to go. So
It's actually the complete Lightning collection behind me.
For now, as they keep coming, right?
Yeah. Other than what I'm gonna have to pre-order in a few minutes.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Pre-orders go up at 1. So we'll try to move this along for you. That way you can get in line with the billions trying to get in there. Next up is the reaction figs, 3 3/4 line. They showed off the green and red Ranger. They also showed they did show them off, but they also talked about coming down the line is of course we have Rita, Pudgy Pig, we got the Putty Patrol. We also have a Megazord coming. Any of you guys into that reaction fig aspect? I mean, I know they're miniature, they're close to what we had as kids, they're less articulated. What do you think, Robert? What are your thoughts on that, the reaction figs of Power Rangers?
They are cool. I have a few reaction figs. I have He-Man and Skeletor. I also got those signed at Comic-Con, but for the price point, I just can't bring myself to buy them. Like get a whole collection. I've seen the Megazord I probably will buy just because it's kind of like that bulkier look, like Soundwave. I want that one.
Right.
But I just can't bring myself. Like if I had a 6-figure job, yeah, screw it. Yeah, I'll buy the whole line and display them. I just for collecting purposes, I gotta pass on it. Although they do look pretty. They look pretty. I do like that Red Ranger. I'm
kind of like you. I'm very selective with my reaction figs. I mean, I have a reaction fig of I forgot his name there, but the guy from Goonies, the creature there, I totally brain farting right now. Yeah. But I have a couple reaction figs here and that, and an alien figure.
Yeah.
But what about you, Dave? Any interest in those at all?
I'll probably pass on those. I like the figures with more articulation, the more modern styles. But they're definitely cool. And I was just actually commenting to someone the other day that we haven't seen from Hasbro for Power Rangers yet a more basic figure line, where it's not all the super detail and everything. It's just a real basic upfront figure. So that's cool because I know a lot of people are into that, and if it gets more people interested in the brand, that just means more toys overall. So
exactly, I agree. Next up, we're going to talk about. It was a funny segment considering this weekend, the Valentine's Day pun Millennium Dino Fury freak show that we seen. I don't know, guys. I was like, what is this? What's happening? They went into corny puns for Blaze, the Red Ranger, the Pink Ranger. Did you guys find that segment entertaining at all? It got a smirk out of me once. And was it filler? What do you guys think, Rob?
It was. I'll say this: it was not Dino-tastic.
Yeah, Dino-tastic, not so much. Dave, what are your thoughts on that debacle?
I think Hasbro does a lot of filler in their Fan First Fridays. I would definitely prefer them to have more just content to show us. If you're dead set on having an hour-long show, have an hour's worth of content.
Yeah,
and if you read the comments as you're watching, like literally everybody feels the same way.
Yeah.
Like every fan watching that thing is like, okay, this is kind of funny, but can we get to the figures, please? Like,
I seen the trolling text just repeatedly go as the stream was going.
Yeah. So I did laugh, but
yeah.
in 10 minutes, I'm not going to remember any of them. So
right.
they weren't
I
that
think
great.
it's we got to remember too. They're also this whole stream was they did want to bring in new young toy kids to the toy line as well as fans of the Lightning
which
collectors.
is fine. I mean,
which I think I feel like that was kind of like a jokey time. Like you said, there's a lot of filler in a lot of Hasbro's fan firsts. They want to try to feed that family friendly audience, but in reality, you want to have content. If you show a toy, cut it down, cut it down by 15 minutes. Just bang, 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 all hot fire. And those kids want to see the toys. They don't want to see Valentine's Day puns, because it's kind of a lot of them are going over their head as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do agree. I agree. No, I agree. I mean, I think like with any streaming, like with any of these, we're mid 30-year-olds. And we have to remember that they're also trying to bring in kids. So it's like when scalpers buy 50, of the same figure, like leave some for the kids. Like kids want to buy this stuff too.
Yep. And we've seen that. We've seen Hasbro address that, which is great. Hasbro as a whole, Hasbro to me holds a special place in the heart, not only as toys as a kid, but as an adult. I went to the first ever HasCon. I live in Mass, and 20 minutes away was Providence. And it was by far, up until the pandemic, I went to conventions I went to 4 or 5 a year at least.
Yeah.
Out of the last 20 years. And the HasCon was the most that I felt a company cared about their customers out of any con I've ever gone to.
Wow.
They had the Power Ranger aspect. They were giving free things. You got pleas and thank yous and we appreciate you coming to our booths from Hasbro reps. It was great. And I feel like right now, because of what they're doing with kind of going more family friendly and they're trying to include everybody, I'm fine with it. The Valentine's segment and whatever. But now we're gonna get to the the rhyme and reason, the whole point of the show, what everybody wants for collecting: the Lightning Ranger Wave 9 first product design, fully remote product design they ever done, because of COVID. And by my God, it looked amazing.
They were great.
So, yes, we're gonna start off with the Green Ranger. What do you think about that SPD Green Ranger, Dave?
No, I think it looks great. And you said it. They really put the extra time and work into this, and it shows. The human head sculpts on this product line from start to now, they've been really hit or miss. Some of them are really great. Some of them, it's like, well, who's that supposed to be? And then some of them are like, what the heck were they thinking?
Right.
But all three of the human heads in this one, they look like the characters they based them on, and they look really solid. They look like human heads, and right. They actually pointed it out on the stream. The hair detail, is killer.
Going with that, we're gonna go right down the line. I'll let you answer all of them. You got the Green Ranger, you got the Space Black Ranger, you got the Blue Galaxy Ranger. They came with accessories. Just starting with the three Rangers, like you said, the detail of the hair, the ponytail on the one character. I mean, what are your overall thought on all three? Feel free and articulate any of your thoughts and emotions.
Awesome figures. And the thing about Power Rangers is it's got such a long history. Every team and every character is someone's favorite. So they're going to be popular. Everybody's going to want these ones. SPD is one of the better seasons of its kind of era. And so I was really excited to see that. And we're actually one figure away from completing that team, the core team at least, which is nice. One thing I hear from a lot of Power Ranger fans is can Hasbro go away from introducing all these new teams, putting out one figure from all these new teams and complete a lineup for once. And because we only have two complete teams. We have the original Mighty Morphin team, and then we have the Psycho Rangers, the villains. Those are the only two full teams we have in 2.5 years or so of figures. And it's kind of frustrating because you want that display of everything.
I get the completionist vibe, like myself and you. I think we're kindred spirits on that aspect. Mine is Star Wars. I want to complete lines. I want to complete waves. And I can see behind you, your collection looks amazing. Any of the new accessories with the blast effects for the Space Black Ranger. He has the blast effects and the lunar lamps. The Lost Galaxy Blue has his sabers and his Cosmo Claw. The accessories, although do they seem like they stood out from any other previous sets, or is it, how did that look to you?
Oh, absolutely. The blast effect on the Black Ranger is completely new. It's not reused from another Power Rangers release, and they do that a lot. When you have a similar accessory, they repaint a blast accessory to save costs. I get it. It's a business. You want to reuse those molds. But yeah, that's a completely new blast effect, which is nice because they are interchangeable. You can put it on another figure. The Blue Ranger coming with different accessories is great. So it's not just a repaint with a new head of the Red Galaxy Ranger that they just put out that came with different accessories. And the Green Ranger also having the different modes of his blaster, so you can change how that one piece fits into the handle, and it's either
it was almost like a modular weapon design, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's really cool. They're doing a better job with accessories. That was one kind of misstep they made early on, and I think they're kind of course correcting, listening to the fans
awesome.
that were voicing their
concerns or
displeasure with some things that they did early on.
Right. Robert, what do you think of those three Rangers?
I think they looked really amazing. My biggest regret is I never got the original 5 Rangers for the Lightning Collection. I really wish I had. I had the Red Ranger and I flipped him, the Comic-Con exclusive. I flipped him. I shouldn't have. Dave and I were talking about things we flipped that we kind of regret. And that's one of mine. I love the blast effects, so I really wish that they would do more of that with their Marvel Legends line.
Yeah, without effect. I mean, you see it here and there. I mean, they had like the what was it? It was Black. I think it was Black Widow, or the white version of had the glass. Yeah, see that they did. They acted, but I wish they did it more. I mean, we all wish.
Well, we saw that and I have them right here actually, because with with War Machine, but and they did it kind of with Cyclops, but the way the sword's power, the way that the sword's lightning wrapped around the sword, I kind of want to see that around Cyclops' optic blast, where the energy is coming off and it just
exactly. Yeah, you want more realistic blast energy.
If anybody from Hasbro listens to this, I would buy a complete just pack of blast effects.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, interchangeable throughout their lines and figures. I would buy that.
Yep. There's in our chat, there's secondary markets where you can buy the blast effects, but Hasbro, like Dave said, you're missing an opportunity. Release
everybody would want them.
Effects.
And they're so easy to lose. So why not buy another one?
Exactly, right.
Well, they've actually done this in the past though. In '99 when the Phantom Menace came out, which was I believe the first time it was the Star Wars figures were Hasbro branded.
Yep.
Instead of Kenner, and they released accessory packs. So, you had your regular Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Darth Maul, but then you had the Jedi accessory pack where you had the robes, because the original figures didn't come with the robes, and it was a soft goods robe, and their breathing thing they used underwater. And then Darth Maul the Sith pack came with his cloak and his little droid thing that he sent to spy on people. And I would buy those too for all these lines, just accessories that you couldn't include in the figure.
Well, I mean, and I'm looking at my He-Man wave, Masters of the Universe had those when we were kids, full on. I mean, extra accessories.
We've had full on conversations about that. Masters of the Universe, those swords and armor from when we were kids for all the original toys are worth more than the figures themselves, because as kids we lost them in the mud, we threw them around, you never had them.
Yeah.
So one more figure in that line they announced was the Tango Warrior from season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I thought it looked phenomenal. It has dry brush metal effects, which made it sheen. Had a movable beak, and it had 2 sets of wings, which I didn't realize, so she pointed it out, because both hosts were showing them. One where the wings are retracted, and the other where the wings are out. Robert, what do you think of that? That was amazing.
That was the one that I was like, I don't collect Power Rangers, but that was really, really effing cool. I thought the paint job, like everything that Hasbro does, the paint jobs are like 99.9% like on point, legit. I love them. I love the way it looks. That looked really, really good. Like that sheen looked like the opaqueness. I mean, they know. I think that was more for like the collectors. Like they know that that's what something that we're looking at and looking at like the colors. Even when they released Wolverine with the House of X, people are like, well, the colors are different. I like this. Like we collectors really pay attention to how things are painted.
They definitely did. Dave, I know it's 1 o'clock pre-orders coming. So do you have a queue up? That way you can get in a queue if you run a little late.
Oh yeah,
Are you okay?
I'm good. I've got it set up. We can, we can keep going.
By the time this airing, I hope everybody out there and you get all your pre-orders out and that you wanted. But moving right along, what do you think of that character, that new new version of an old classic?
It's really cool. I didn't expect that one. They did the Putty Patrollers, 2 versions of the Putty Patrollers from season 1 and season 2. So having the season 3 kind of henchman villain to put on display. My wallet doesn't love it because I bought 7 putties, so I got to buy 7 Tangas now.
Oh man!
So I was disappointed with that, but it was unexpected, and I like the surprises because, and I'm sure you see it with the other lines. As soon as those product codes and code names release, everybody's speculating, oh, it's going to be this, it's going to be this. Yep. No, it's going to be this. No, it's going to be this.
There was no chatter about this, really.
Nobody guessed Tanga.
No,
people guessed the Green Ranger, people guessed the Black Ranger, people guessed the Blue Ranger. Those, so I wasn't surprised because everybody kind of decoded the listings and saw those. Nobody saw Tangas coming.
No, and I think it was such an awesome surprise. I mean, and for me, the size variant, because they make their models to scale, and he looks so much bigger than the Rangers they were showing. Then they were showing characters back and forth, and just that attention to detail on that. I mean, going back again, I was looking at when they first started releasing the Lightning figs, the villains. This one to me looked like the best conversion from the TV show when I used to watch to figure. I mean, it looked very detailed. It looked very lifelike, and the way they did it's a new technique they were saying with the dry brushing, the metallic flecks. Gave like shadowing. Anybody that does effects or even movie makeup or anything knows shadows are key to make something look real, and they did a really good job. I mean,
and that movable beak,
yes,
is a nice touch.
Yeah,
really was.
That is a killer touch that they didn't have to do, and people would have been fine if they didn't, but they did it. And the downside is now everybody's going to expect like all the monsters who are in a larger scale, because they have the monster line, which I was surprised they didn't do a reveal for the monster line.
Yeah.
And because people were really digging those, but now I want more movable parts on the monster line because they are on a slightly larger scale. You have a little more room to play with, and you've shown us that you've done it. You're willing to put that effort in, so you got to keep it. You got to keep it up. You can't stop at one movable beak.
Exactly. It's a double-edged sword when you're any kind of designer, because again, I'm gonna totally push on this whole disclaimer about what they did, because more of a accomplishment, not rather than a disclaimer. Everything was designed remote. Artists, painters, sculptors, everybody was Zooming, meeting, showing off what they did, comparing, and we got the best, in my opinion, detail we've seen yet out of any of the villains for overall. We're in the second year now of lockdown, so they should have been designing stuff right along. I hope they didn't bite off more than they can chew. I hope later down the line when they're back in the offices, like you said, that they keep producing this quality and villain. Because if they don't, you're a diehard Power Rangers fan. Are you one to kind of call them out if you start seeing them backslide next year with no posable, no detail, general grays? I mean, is that one that would bother you, or?
I'd like to say yes. I'm still going to buy it, but I will complain.
Yeah.
I won't be happy about buying them, but I'm gonna. That's not true. But I will complain the whole time. But not every figure is going to be a home run. They're not going to knock it out of the park every time. But But they've shown us they can do it, so they got to keep doing it.
As is any collectors. It's one of those things that we whine and cry and throw tantrums on the internet as we're loading in our credit card information to buy 8 of whatever it is we want.
How dare they? Oh, what's the number? Okay.
Yeah, how dare they? I can only buy 7.
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, done. I'm gonna complain about this the whole time, but
right. So now moving along to the family-oriented aspect, which is the new prototype. They went into the prototype of their new Dino Zord Link system figures. They're totally modular, new line with modular parts. Each Zord comes in. There's 5 Zords in total. They're going to be released in 3 separate packs.
Yes.
One is going to be just the red Ranger Zord. Then the next one's going to be the pink and green, and the last one will be the black and blue. Modular design. You take pieces off. They become shields, weapons. They can interact. Each kit also comes with a generalized universal part, which can be extenders and added things to it. So the cool thing was they went in and they actually showed where they built their their Dino Fury Warrior configuration Zord, which is like an old, massive, totally tricked out beast. And then they also showed that you can make your own custom Zords. I mean, this is great for kids' creativity. It's the Legos of Power Rangers. Dave, what do you think about that?
I think it's really, really great. I'm not thrilled about them packaging them separately. I think when you buy a Megazord, when you buy the Zords, you want them all. Now with the last Megazord release like this, they did it twice. They did the 3 separate ones just like they did now. So I think that's the way they're going to be going. But then they also I think it was an Amazon exclusive, I believe, but they did a box package of all 3.
Yep. A lot of people in the chat during the stream were saying, "I'll wait for the exclusive 5-pack." So I guess you're not alone thinking they might.
But I do like it. I mean, Bandai when they were making the toys, they called it the Zord Builder, and it was the same thing. Like I have a shelf over here, you can't see on camera, but I have pretty much every Zord from that Zord Builder, the Legacy collection. Of the original Megazords, and the parts are interchangeable. I can take the season 3 arms, put them on the season 1 Megazord with the season 2 legs. So you can kind of do that. And I think it's cool they're bringing that back, right. Because that means next season when they bring out whatever the next iteration of Power Rangers is, you can take your Zords from this season, take your Zords from that season, and put them together.
Yep, they did touch on that. They said they didn't want to spoil, but right now this is what they're showing. But if they did, wink, wink, come out with anything else to do with Dino Fury, everything would be modular, everything would be customizable together. They really went into the customizable aspect, the articulation, and even they went into a little bit on the detail. They showed off how some of the spikes on one of the Dinos Zords was softer, that way it's kid friendly, but yet every piece came off, and you've seen the sculpt in the face with the eyes being glowing. What do you think, Robert, about that line?
I mean, it's cool. Like I think, like you touched on, it's great for kids, the imagination, and Dave was right. It's great that you can take seasons 3 and 4 and combine them. I will pass just because they did the same thing with the lightsabers for Jedi, and you can like make your own lightsaber, and that's cool. But I'm an originalist, if you will. I just give me the Zord. And let me combine it as on the show, and then I'll leave it alone.
Yep, so. I'm the same way. I'm a displayer. I'm not a player. Hey, I copy that. Ron Berto's line of the year. I'm a displayer, not a player. Oh,
there we go.
So right. So I like things being complete. I like things looking the best they can. I'm not one to build and mess around with it. I know a lot of guys in our chat are. A lot of them mod their own figs. So this might be something that they also do. Is that something? Is that something you'd be interested in buying, Dave, and displaying, or is that your type of collectible?
I don't go for the Zords lately, but I have a feeling I'm going to end up with these because they packaged the Morpher Keys with them.
Yes.
And Bandai and Hasbro have done this for the last couple seasons of Power Rangers. The Morpher Keys that go in the Morpher, like I have the Beast Morpher's Morpher from last season. It comes with a key, but it's like a generic key. Every figure, not the lightning ones, but the basic figure line came with a new key for that character.
Right.
So if you wanted all the Ranger keys to go on display for the core team, you had to buy all the figures.
Yep.
You know,
And they did
Dino
that this time. They have the keys.
Yep.
And you know, I want you on the show more often because that was a perfect segue to the keys. Exactly. You mentioned it, how with the figures now they released the keys and they're the heads. Now in the previous version of the keys, because I'm not familiar with the previous ones, were they same kind of like detail? Were they, or they was just a general accessory to the figure, or did they actually have a functional part of the figure itself? Because I know
they weren't.
Because I know the keys in this one are the actual heads of the Zords.
Yeah.
And,
so
and the,
hang on, let me dig one out.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I also want to mention the cool thing is they showed that as you open up the heads of with the key, they have a special Power Ranger art in the inside that's sculpted in the inside for kids.
That was really cool, and the detail was really good on that.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the duality of it, how it was a head for the Zords. It also had the art, and as we're going to see from Dave, it also has another functionality.
Yeah.
So the Morphers, correct?
This was one of the Beast Morpher keys. It does clip to the arm of the figure. I haven't watched Beast Morphers all the way through, so I don't know if anything on the show resembled this, where like a piece of their armor had some kind of attachment like that they would, you know, fight with. But so just hitting on that, for example, this is the one that comes with the Morpher itself, and it has a couple colors, and it makes the Morpher make different sounds.
Right.
And so this does the same thing. You put this one in the Morpher instead, it makes a different sound.
Yeah. Now, well, they did show off. They did show off the Red Ranger key, which is the Red Ranger's Zord's head.
Yes.
It made like a fire effects to the Morpher toy. Now, is that sound already found in the keys that you have, or is that a totally new sound, totally new effects?
I don't know about the specific sound. I don't keep batteries in my Morphers because when you keep batteries in a toy for too long, they corrode and they ruin everything. Yep. So I haven't actually played around with what sounds these things make in them. I just have them on the shelf with the Morpher because that it completes it for me.
Exactly.
Now, but what I am glad is there's only 5 Rangers, maybe 6 in this one. Back a few years ago, during the Super Mega Force season, you had one of these for every Power Ranger that was ever on screen.
Wow.
And they came in packs of 3.
Wow.
And you had to buy if you were a completionist like I was, you had to buy all those different packs. You had to hunt down all those things, and they didn't make a lot of extra noises.
Yeah.
There was not a lot to it other than
no variety,
that display. So I'm glad at least they have some kind of function, like it's part of the Megazord, and then you can put it in the Morpher. So like having that secondary function is nice.
I agree, and I mean maybe that's another point of them trying to touch base with the younger demographic is, you know, kids, you know, age 6 to probably 10, 11, probably have those Morphers and they play with them, and the parents don't want to go, especially now, you know, the way our economy is and work and whatnot. People don't want to go have to buy 40 different variants just to get 40 or 50 different keys. So having the, you know, one for each Zord, having a total of 5 different keys, and each of them is supposed to have its own signature sounds and signature effects. And it, like I said, it also doubles up as the head. It's the head for the Zord. So you can interchange. You can take the, you know, Red Ranger's Zord with the Blue Ranger's head on it, and it changes out. And what do you think of the
but it's Pokemon. You got to catch them all.
Yeah. Oh, you ain't kidding. Rob, any comments to the?
That's how they're going to get you to buy things you don't want.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Gotta catch them all. Catch my wallet is what it's got to do.
Exactly. No, I mean, I applaud them for giving, in essence, which they're supposed to be for, kids, you know, extra stuff to play with.
Right.
And you know, I have my stuff on display. You know, I'll play with my Marvel Legends and display them to where they look cool. But I don't play with them like when I was a kid. My friends, my you know, nephews and nieces, they play with the Power Ranger toys, and they play with them. Like we did, like when we were kids. And so if my friend, you know, if a friend of mine can buy her kid, you know, 1, 2 figures, but it lasts like
has
5
has multiple functionality, and it's something that they can keep with.
I love that. I applaud that. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it hits from kids to adults and everybody in between. I mean, and overall, I mean, that's kind of the theme of this Fan First Friday was they had something special for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and even they had entertainment news. I mean, they had the talking about the, you know, the speaking of that, Netflix. You know, they were talking about how Netflix is there was rumors of them pulling it off Netflix and no more Power Rangers on Netflix. Well, they came out and addressed it. You know, they said that there will be Beast Morphers still on Netflix, and the Ninja Steel series is still on Netflix. They did go into and kind of push heavy, which is good because it's free, and that's what they said, free. The free YouTube channel is going to be having all of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers able to stream for free. No Netflix subscription, no Disney Plus, nothings, no, you know, anything, no Discovery, whatever is or the hell, you know, whatever the hell they're doing now. Are any of you guys into actually going back and watching the old ones on the free? What do you think, Robert? Is there anything that we would go back and, you know, nostalgia wise, watch the old Power Rangers?
I mean, nostalgia wise, yeah. I've got so many shows that I'm like backlogged on. I mean, you hear about this, you know, in the Geekdom Gamecast, how people are backlogged on games and backlogged on comics, and I'm backlogged on TV and movies. But you know, I might, for the hell of it, you know, just go back to 5th grade and 6th grade, check it out.
Well, watch the greatest hits, whatever ones were special to you. You don't have to binge them all. If 2020 or the COVID pandemic has been good for anything, it's been getting caught up on freaking backlogs.
True.
Video games, shows. I mean, I've watched so many. I've been so many shows. I'm like combining Star Wars, Stargate, and Star Trek in my brain. I'm like Kirk going through
the stars.
Kirk and Teal'c going to Mary Poppins Land or some shit. I'm like, yeah, all over the place. But Dave, what do you think about that? The you know, YouTube and the continuation on Netflix.
I would rather they still be on Netflix. You know, I have a Netflix subscription already. It doesn't cost me any. It already didn't cost me anything to watch it because I have Netflix for other reasons than Power Rangers. And they were all there. Eventually, possibly they will all be on their YouTube channel too. But I think it's just it's their way of getting more hits on their YouTube channel. They want to direct you to their content rather than have you see it somewhere else, because they probably don't make as much money from Netflix streaming it as they would like. So they're like, oh, here, come to our channel, so we can get the likes, we can get the hits to the channel, the views and everything, and our ad revenue can go up.
Exactly. And also their channel also has the premieres for their Fan First Friday toy lines, or what is it, with Mando Mondays, Transformer Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and whatever the hell it is, all kinds of stuff. But that too, you're right. I didn't think of that by getting. And here's the thing: I have 2 boys, and my oldest, you know, he's 10, and even the schools are using YouTube for educational videos. So they're in YouTube Kids, like, you know, I put ratings on it, so we can't go and look at crappy. Not supposed to, but all that stuff, the Hasbro channel falls under that. So you're getting kids to go there to watch these old reruns or whatever, and that's gonna cue them for when the premieres come up of Fan First Friday. Premiere. It's like an alert. They're gonna see that and go, hey, let me watch it. And that's I want that toy. I want this line, like you said, clicks, likes.
And I get it. I get it from the business aspect, and it is a business at the end of the day. And you know, the more money they make, the more toys we get. So you know, I like it. And like all this stuff, none of this is the current season. You know, they have to find a way to drive sales for the people who don't have the nostalgia, but they still want them to buy toys. So I get it. You know, here's our channel, and then in that description, here's a link to buy all the toys you saw in this show.
Exactly. I mean, it's one stop consumerism if you think about it. Like, you're right.
And on that, in a slightly altruistic manner, if you will, it does also help those who might not have a Netflix account, because I know
that is true.
Because I know a lot of people like you know, I do have I know people who don't have Netflix, and you know, they watch a lot
because you have 8 other things to subscribe to.
Yeah, so now, you know, and some people, you know, maybe not to be a classist, but maybe like on the lower middle class might not have all the subscriptions. So now you have a free channel. You can put your kids in front of it. Well, maybe you're trying to find a job, or maybe you're working from home. You put your kid in front of YouTube. And granted, it is a double-edged sword because it's ABC or Fox when we were kids. Like, hey, it's you know, like X-Men and then X-Men commercial, Spider-Man commercial. It's what we were as kids. Now it's on YouTube, and it is what it is, and it's fine.
It is more accessible, and that's great. I don't see it as a negative. It just frustrated me.
Right. It doesn't do anything.
Exactly.
It doesn't do anything but take stuff away from people that are Netflix subscribers. Like I'm like that too.
Right.
You know, it's giving us less content.
I have Peacock, but would I rather have Parks and Rec and Brooklyn Nine-Nine on my Netflix? Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So moving into closing, I did want to touch on the premiere date. They did go into that, and they showed a brief trailer. I don't think it was. I mean, was a trailer anything enough really to go into, Dave? It was. What do you think?
Well, like I said on the stream itself, we're going to see a different opening.
Yep.
In a couple weeks anyway, because they only have 3 Rangers to start with, and we know there's at least 5 in the team. So
as they start adding,
whenever, and they've done this the past couple years, you know, because they're a little hampered by the source footage they're working with. You know, there's a lot of footage of just the 3 Rangers from the Japanese versions before the whole team got together, so they kind of follow that, and they'll make a new opening then. The theme song itself kind of underwhelming considering some of the cooler ones we've had lately. And they have some good openings. I don't know who dropped the ball on this. I'm gonna blame COVID. They couldn't get in a room and workshop it with everybody the way they did the toys.
I 100% agree. The song was very lackluster. I didn't find it anything banger.
It wasn't, and it was not Dino-tastic.
No, it was not.
God.
Yep. It was more like flatulent poor. But yeah, no, touch on that. The premiere date is next Saturday, February 20th at, I think it was 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern.
Actually, they did say it's 11 on both.
On both, all right.
Or no, 8 a.m. on both.
8 a.m. on both. All right, I'm glad you caught that.
So we're on either coast. If you at 8 a.m. on Nickelodeon, you can watch it on February 20th.
So I will not be watching that with my son at 8 a.m. on a Saturday.
Nope.
But you know, in closing, let's give our overall thoughts. I'll give it to you, Bob. What do you think of the Bob Air?
I mean, overall, it was cool. I'm not a Power Ranger fan like Dave is. Marvel Legends, Star Wars, I'm all about it. I give it a C. Like the figures looked awesome. The figures looked amazing. I'm not gonna take it away from that. That was amazing. The filler wasn't for me, and the premiere, the new show that the dude was trying to seem enthusiastic, and that was a banger. Like you could tell he was like, this is bad.
It was so scripted that moment because you can even see it as he's reading it. It was a banger.
And you just when he's saying this, you can see his soul dying inside. The fire in his eyes was like dimming.
Right.
And you could tell that he hated seeing Dino-tastic over and over again. He's like, oh god.
Yep. You almost hit your quota. I think we're gonna hit one or two more of those Dino-tastic.
Which makes me think that Dino-tastic comes up in the new show a lot. Like that's gonna be one of their catchphrases.
Yep. That's gonna be the Blue Ranger. It's Dino-tastic.
Yeah.
I said it should be going Dynamite, but
they're pushing it hard now so that you'll love it when it comes out in there.
Right. So Dave, what do you think of the overall? Give it a grade, ABC, 1 to 3, whatever you feel like throwing out there.
I'll give it a B. Aside from all the filler, it was good. The figure reveals I loved. The new Megazord line is cool. I'm glad they're bringing back that kind of modular system where everything's interchangeable. The reaction figures is a nice addition. That I didn't see that coming either. And so yeah, it was cool. They could just what I think they need is more personality in their streams. Like they say they're Power Rangers fans, but are they? Or are they the people? Are they the people Hasbro has assigned to that product line?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know if you follow any other lines or any other live streams, but this is the first Power Rangers Friday we've seen in a while. I mean, they don't do as many.
I think they said October was the last time we saw.
Yeah, it was Halloween. It was a Halloween release with the monster lines.
So they don't do as many as, say, the Marvel Legends or the Star Wars. Star Wars was having multiple days between, Mando Mondays and the Fridays. And even we've seen that same, I guess you would say, like, staleness in personality in those lines in the beginning. But I think because they've gotten, especially Transformers. I mean, we had Transformers almost every week for like 3 or 4 weeks, or like 3 months. It was every other week, and they were like that. They were like, this is that. And we slowly started seeing their personalities come out more. I mean, especially one of the main hosts that Travis is always busting his chops about with his shirt and his hair and whatever. But him too, he was very, monotone and dry, and now he's coming out a little more, personable. My rating, I would give it a B as well. I think product line, they hit the points they wanted to hit. They showed us what we wanted to show. They gave us a surprise, with that villain, with that, Tenga Fig. Was there a couple dry moments? Did we need to really push on that Valentine's Day themed puns as long as they did? No, you could have literally thrown 2 or 3 out there in transition to another product or another announcement. You didn't really need a whole 10-minute, conversation about it. Again, it's pushing those products to the current kids that are following their segments.
Right.
I liked it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm not a diehard Power Ranger fan. I am a fan. The only thing I'd really, for me, was a look to purchase is probably that Super 7 clear coat Zord. That Megazord was awesome.
So pretty. So
what do you guys? So social media plugs, guys. I don't know if you can be found anywhere, Dave. If you want to push anything like that, it's up to you. Do you have any, Twitter or Instagrams or anything?
No, not currently. I'm not really big into a lot of the social media.
Yep. As you know, we're a channel here for the fans. So of course, we are gonna plug it. Please like. You don't have to sub, but we like it. But like our videos. If you like them and push them out, we'll keep pumping them. We'll keep going. Robert, where can they find you? Any of your sites or Twitters?
As seen, which I'll probably put below me. I'm not Mike. This is Mike's account. So find me at Bayou City Geeks on Twitter and Instagram, and YouTube, and Facebook. We're on all of them. So yeah.
Yep, exactly. And I know you can find it's A_toy_mood on Instagram, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
you're gonna post it online, yeah. So you're gonna see all of our social media plugs right here on the screen, folks. This has been a Go Power Ranger Day toy kind of mood from Ron. Dave, thank you for coming out. We appreciate having you, big time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
You are a vault of knowledge. It was a wonderful joy having you on. We need you more often. Yeah, I'm jealous of your setup. I got a wall and a coffee maker. Stay alive out there, folks. From a toy kind of mood. Peace.
Peace.